Guys, I don't know where Thogdad is. We're meant to be filming. He's decided not to turn up.
The postman has been, and look what he's brought us.
Bolton, Theo and Steve. Alright, that's our names. A lot of people didn't know that's your name.
Theo, lovely top. Are you playing a bit of the old darts later?
Well, I'm no Michael Van Gogh. Anyway, listen, we thought we might as well sit down here, talk about football again, get our mind off England. I'm sure a lot of people have been waiting for us to upload because it has been a while. We've had a nice break, haven't we?
We've had a lovely break, and I can't believe that Thogden is back with a little bit of a suntan.
A little bit. Right, today we're going through every single Premier League club and picking one player they should sign in the coming weeks for the start of the season in about 6 weeks' time.
I've almost forgotten how to do these vlogs. It seems like it's been forever, doesn't it? But welcome back.
Right, let's kick things off with Arsenal. I'm going to do your job because you're forgetting
Hey, excuse me. And the first team is Arsenal. It's got to be done in the Thogdad voice. And you know what? I've gone for a lad from Leicester.
Yeah.
James Maddison, 24-year-old attacking midfielder. Probably worth about 49 million quid. He's an exciting, creative player, but I almost feel he's taken a wrong direction in his career. Something's not working out quite right. He's only ever had one cap for England.
Yeah, true. It's injuries. It's been disappointing last season that, the injuries approached and Southgate simply couldn't play him. I don't think this move's going to happen. I think giving the number 10 role to Emil Smith-Rowe was kind of a way of saying, well, we're not really going to sign James Maddison. We might get something else. And having said that, I think Arsenal should be turning their eyes to Tammy Abraham. I think a mix-up up front could be brilliant. I know he's a Chelsea player and, I'm not sure he'll go to Arsenal, but he's wasted at Chelsea. He doesn't play. You've got to make the move, and Arsenal could do with a bit of a refresh in their forward line. Aubameyang's still missing sitters in pre-season games. Yeah. Tammy Abraham is a well-known goal scorer.
Don't write off Aubameyang. I know he had a poor season last season, but I think he could be back amongst the goals very, very soon.
I'm not too sure about that. I think they need a refresh. Let's move on to Villa.
And now for Aston Villa. No, actually, let's do the like target, Theo. And today, you always change mine. How many likes?
Wait, no, you pick for once. Come on.
8,000.
You've forgotten how to hit the like. Obviously, we're going to hit
10,000.
Let's just move on, Dad. You're boring me at this point. Right, who have you picked for Villa?
Now, I've gone for Sander Berge at Villa. Now, he's currently at Sheffield United, isn't it? I think it's going to be exciting for Villa. They've got Buendia and Grealish up front, and they need someone to do a bit of hard work behind them. Sander Berge.
Dad, if you've got one transfer to pick, one player that every club needs, I wouldn't throw my memory to Sander Berge.
I think sometimes there you've got to be realistic. Think what could happen in this transfer window.
Well, I think it's still realistic to say they could go for Leon Bailey. He's a Jamaican winger who plays for Bayer Leverkusen, a really fast, exciting player. They're linked with him at the moment, and I think it would be a great move. So that's the one player for me that Villa really need to get. Imagine a front four of Grealish, Bailey, Buendia, and Watkins. That's European football, that.
That is brilliant, but I'm taking Bailey somewhere else.
You love a Bailey's, don't you?
Yeah. And now for Brentford, come on the Bees. This is an exciting year for them. And you know what? I'm bringing over Reece Nelson, the right winger from Arsenal. I'm taking him across London because he needs more game time.
It's not going to be an exciting year if they sign Reece Nelson, Thogdad.
What's wrong with that?
He's not that good. You've probably just seen a comment and thought, I'm going to go for him because there aren't many Brentford rumours right now. I don't really know.
That is true, that.
Since Aya signed, I don't really... They're keeping very hush-hush. Matthew Benham, you might have to drop him a note.
I nearly did, actually.
I knew you would have. That's what I thought about it. For me, I've gone something different. I really had to do my research. The reason I was late to this filming time is because I was thinking about Brentford a bit too long. I was like, okay, well, they play a three-back system. They really need a right wing-back. So how about they go in the market for someone who's at West Brom last year, had a really good year. You know what I'm talking about. Ainsley, Maitland-Niles. It would fit the system.
Yes.
If they do want to keep a back three, and since they've signed Aya, it looks like they might do that. A right wing-back in Maitland-Niles is Premier League experience and quality, and it's the sort of signing they'd go for. So it wouldn't surprise me if they make the move.
You know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Brentford bring in someone from Denmark. They've looked at the stats. They've looked at the data. They've brought someone in for 4 million quid who they'll sell in 3 years for 30 million. So I think they'll surprise us with names we've never heard of. Brighton and Hove Albion, they've got 50 million quid in the bank from the Ben White sale. Who should they buy? Well, I'll tell you what, they need a striker. I wanna be Edouard. Bring him down from Celtic. He's got a year left on his contract at Celtic Park. He's a good striker, isn't he, Theo?
Yeah, if Celtic want to get money for him, this is the time to sell. Next year will be nothing. And for me, the one player they're rumoured with, and I think spending that 50 mil would make sense, is Marc Cucurella. He's a player in the Spanish league who's really been smashing it.
Yeah.
He plays in the left wing back role. He's such a good contributor. He's creative. Imagine Brighton had Cucurella on the left side and Lamptey on the right. It's deadly. It screams creativity. And I know they need a striker to go with it.
Yes.
But you can only pick one player in this video. And personally, I think Cucurella is the best thing they can go for. Their only problem is AS Roma are interested, and so Atletico Madrid.
Wow, but for me, it has to be a striker.
It's a bit of both, really. But both good decisions. And let's go on to the next club.
Burnley now. We've got to choose someone Brexit, haven't we, Theo? So I've gone and looked at Bolton. Now, this lad went from Bolton to Liverpool 5 years ago.
Yeah.
He's not played a lot for Liverpool. Nat Phillips. I think that's a good Brexit choice. You know, someone who will slot into the centre-back position. Burnley have to be brilliant defensively to stay up.
Has to be Brexit for Burnley, doesn't it? But I tell you what, Nat Phillips, he's a good player. But for me, I've gone European. I've not gone someone Brexit at all. It's crazy that you have. I've gone for Maxwell Cornet, a player who plays for Lyon, left back and left wing. They shifted him back to left back recently. He's a created, left-footed, fast player, and I think he'd add a lot to the team. They're also linked with him. So if they get that move ahead and done, I think it would really bolster their team for the coming year.
So you think Burnley are going to go all international on our asses?
Yes, I do.
Chelsea now, and it simply has to be Aurelien Tchouameni, the 21-year-old defensive midfielder. Now, bear with me, Theo. He's at Monaco at the moment. He's a young lad. Now, Chelsea have got to be thinking about strengthening the midfield. They've got to think about when N'Golo Kante finally moves on. Tchouameni is the one. Rated at about 30 million, so...
You've lost me in the head here, Dad, that you've gone for anybody else but Erling Braut Haaland.
It's not going to happen, Theo. It's not realistic.
Roman has said he might want to sign him this season because there'll be so many clubs interested in next year because of his release clause. So imagine Roman comes in with a big bid. They're going to say yes, that's the truth. If they offered in the range of 150 million, right now, I reckon Dortmund would confirm it because they're going to get half that in a year. So for me, it's not completely out the window, but I think there's a very low chance of it happening. But can you imagine if we watched Haaland in the Premier League? If you have a striker that good and you've got the players as they do around him, they would be so dangerous. They've got the Champions League now. Now they've got to tick off the EPL, and he could be the player to do it.
Crystal Palace now, and I've gone for Kasper Dolberg, the Danish international. He got 3 goals at the Euros. It's at Nice, Theo, in Liga 1. Probably cost about 20 million quid. And you know about the financial troubles in that league. So I think this could happen. And Crystal Palace have got to be looking at younger players.
It's a move that could definitely happen. Dolberg was very exciting in the Euros, where he scored that double. You know, he came on, scored goals for fun. He's a player that I see him doing all right in the Premier. I think Palace need a striker. I'm going to stay in that range, that position. But another player that's open, you've already mentioned him, is the Celtic striker, Odsonne Edouard.
Yes.
Now, since Vieira's come in, he's brought in his backroom staff. Now, interestingly, Celtic striker Edouard worked with Palace's new development coach, Saïd Aïgoun, at the PSG Academy.
Right.
So the link's there. They could have that contact to make this deal possible. It's a match made in heaven for Vieira, and I watched Edouard in the Scottish League live with you. I think he can cope in the Premier League. I think he'd bang in the goals.
Yeah, I think he can score 15 a season. I think he's good enough to come from Scotland to England and score goals. Everton now, and I'm taking a young striker from Bayer Leverkusen to Goodison Park.
He's Villa's man.
No, I'm taking in Leon Bailey.
Dad, Aston Villa are going to make the deal, not Everton.
Yeah. Now, I think Everton, they need a little bit of pace. He would be wonderful for Everton.
You think Everton are going to hijack the deal?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a big prediction made by Thought. If it happens, I'll be asking for lottery numbers. That's what I'm saying.
I think Everton needs some positive news right now.
They do. And they need a new number 10 for obvious reasons. And I think that number 10 is Jesse Lingard. He had a very good year at West Ham.
Yeah.
I think a little loan move to Everton is going to make sense in the coming few days. I think there'll be more rumours, obviously, for attacking players for Everton. And I think Jesse is the man. Premier League proven. He'll do well for him.
Yeah, but if Jesse's going anywhere, surely he goes back to West Ham. I mean, it worked instantly.
Jesse's one of those players. He might want something new. And Everton, they're a good club. They'll definitely start him. He'll get game time. And he might want something different. You never know.
Leeds United now, Theo. And I'm going to go really left field. And the stats from this right winger, Theo. 140 appearances in the Premier League. 7 goals and 16 assists. Really poor. Do you know who I'm talking about? Adama Traore. Because we all watch him and we think that's an exciting, pacey, classy player. But he doesn't perform well enough. Those stats aren't good enough. And I think a manager like Marcelo Bielsa, one of the best in the world, could really change his career. Adama Traore to Leeds United.
Do you know what's funny?
What's funny, Theo?
I've gone for the same player.
No, you haven't.
I have. There aren't many managers better than Marcelo Bielsa.
Yes.
So why not bring a player who clearly has the pace, the dribbling, the ability, and add it there and see what Bielsa can do? Because I think he can bring the best out of him in his system.
Yes.
We agree on the Leeds player, and adding more forward depth is exactly what Leeds United want. So let's see if that move happens. And funnily enough, Traore is also well known to Leeds footballing chief Victor Orta, who signed him from Villa during his time at Borough. So there's already that link. There's that direct contact. So it wouldn't surprise me if the deal goes ahead.
Leicester City now, and I've gone for Jules Koundé from Sevilla. Now, he's a 22-year-old centre-back. Now, a lot of people think you're aiming too high, but that's the point I'm trying to make here. Leicester should be thinking top 4. They should be thinking we're going into the Champions League. So think big, spend 50 million, buy him.
Dad, you're a mug. Why would Leicester need a centre-back? Where's he getting in that team?
You just answered it. You go straight in. Come on.
The man I think they should go for is someone available because the team got relegated, but he had a very good year. You might be thinking, Matheus Pereira. He's the man. Tell you why. He's going to go to one of the Premier League clubs. He's available. He probably wants to stay in England because it's easier at the times that we're in. And he had very good stats last year. I know he took penalties, but he was still quality. And to add that bit of creativity and goal-scoring threat to the midfield of Leicester City would be brilliant. Matheus Pereira, get the deal done. I think it would be brilliant.
But is he an upgrade on their current attacking midfielders? Would he actually start?
I think he would. And if not, he would definitely add something different. I've seen Jose Perez kind of stepping away a little bit. He's not been as good and lethal as he was before. So maybe mix it up, bring in Matheus, see what he can do.
Liverpool now, and they have to spend some money over the next 4 or 5 years because they're going to have to replace Salah, Mane, Fabinho, they're going to have to replace Firmino and, of course, Henderson. But Wijnaldum is the most immediate guy they have to replace. Nicolo Barella, that's who I'd bring in. It might cost you, I don't know, 60 million quid. He had a brilliant Euros, didn't he? And that's the sort of player that Liverpool need to buy every year for the next 5 or 6 years.
You practically watched half his games live at the Euros.
Yes, we did,
Is Barella the player for Liverpool?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. I think he'd fit in, and I think he's quality.
Interesting.
Will Inter Milan let him go? I don't know.
I've gone for Pedro Neto as my player. I think Barella's a really good shout, by the way. It makes sense, Pedro Neto.
Yeah.
They've got that Wolves-Liverpool link. They've done business together before, obviously for Diogo Jota, and that move was really successful. Pedro Neto had a great year at Wolves. There's a new manager in place, so he might want a reset, maybe some cash to invest where he wants. He's also mates with Jota. The whole thing just makes sense, and it wouldn't surprise me if that deal went ahead.
But my only question would be, is Neto good enough for Liverpool Football Club?
I think so. He's young, he's got the potential, and he'll be a squad player, and he'll gradually make his way in. It makes sense.
Manchester City, very simple. Harry Kane, full stop, Theo.
Very simple. 160 million. Get him in. Harry Kane. Well, I'm not saying get him in as in I'm a fan. I'm just saying, we've been talking about this for God knows how long. And the deal, again and again, is like, oh, they've got one step closer.
I know.
160 million. Oh, the big money signing. Everyone's going to get him on FPL, and you're right. But if you're going to do the deal, you might as well do it now. Harry Kane to City, end of.
If Harry Kane plays for Manchester City and they don't have too many injuries, they could win everything for the next 5 years.
Absolutely. And if Grealish isn't going, then surely City want something different for their season upcoming, and Kane may be the one.
Manchester United, it's very simple. Eduardo Camavinga, the 18-year-old central midfielder from Rennes. Now, Manchester United, they've got to look ahead.
Yeah.
They've got to look 10 years ahead. This is one of the most exciting, talented players in Europe. The whole of Europe wants him. So why not take him to Old Trafford, Theo?
It makes sense. You know, is this a way of saying Pogba's going to leave?
No, it isn't actually.
Really?
If you have him, you can play him alongside Pogba. It's more of a replacement for Scotty McTominay, who I love, a Lancaster boy, and Fred.
The one player they really want to get this summer, if there is only one, Rafael Varane.
Yes.
Personal terms have been agreed for absolutely ages. It's just whether the clubs will agree a fee.
Yes.
It's a matter of time. And it's a deal that Man United would love to do. I mean, they've just announced Sancho today of filming. Getting him under the belt as well. Rafael Varane is quality. He's a World Cup winner. He's won a lot at Real Madrid. And he's still got many years to come. And Man United, the stature that they're in and the club they could be with the signings that they've got.
Yes.
It's incredible. Are they in a Premier League title race next year?
I'll tell you what, if they get those three names, Theo, they've got Sancho today, Camavinga and Varane, they just could win the title. Newcastle United, and I'm going to take someone from Old Trafford, Daniel James. He's a Welsh international. He's very fast, but he's not quite Man United level for me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
and also,
enough.
He's not playing every week. And if he went to Newcastle, he's a sort of fast, exciting player that the Geordies would love. So
let's not forget Sancho's just come in the door as well. So
yeah.
I think that's a good potential move.
Thank you.
I've gone for a little bit more boring option, but someone that's worked at Newcastle and the fans would love him to come back. Joe Willock, the Arsenal boy. I don't know if he's going to be in Arteta's first team plans. I heard that he is, but at the same time, if they sign a big midfielder, they may just let him go. Because at the end of the day, Joe Willock's going to want game time to genuinely improve. He was incredible at Newcastle. how much better he got there will make him think, well, why don't I just go back? I know the lads, I know the system, I like the gaffer, let's make it happen again. So that is the one deal, if Newcastle have to make, I think it'd be brilliant.
Norwich City, and I'm going to take Philip Billing from Bournemouth and play him alongside Billy Gilmore, who's on loan for the season. And this is one of those realistic transfers here.
So you give me one player in the whole summer to sign and you say Philip Billing.
Realistic, because we know that the Norwich owners, they don't have that much cash. They won't spend big.
Hey, listen, I've gone for a DM that played for them last year and was so solid. But at the same time, I think the club that he's at the moment might not let him go out on loan again. You know what I'm talking about? Oliver Skip. Brilliant English talent.
Yeah.
Really creative. So excited Norwich last year. But Spurs might want to keep him under the new manager. Looks like he's having a great pre-season, by the way. I don't know if this move's going to happen, but it's dreamland for Norwich, and it would work.
Southampton now, and I'm going to strengthen them up front because I think Che Adams is not very reliable. Danny Ings gets injured. So I'm taking Adam Armstrong, who used to play for Bolton for a while, now at Blackburn Rovers, scores loads of goals in the Championship. I'm taking him to Southampton.
I agree with you, Adam Armstrong.
Okay.
And, hey, well, it's funny, isn't it? We were watching him in a Bolton shirt, running about for us in the Championship, and now he's linked with Southampton.
I know.
He's about to go to the Premier League. At least he will soon enough. Had a great season last year at Blackburn. It's mad how players change when they leave Bolton. He would never stand out at Bolton. Like, he was all right, don't get me wrong. Like, a few glimpses of quality, but never incredible like he's been at Blackburn. So fair play to the lad. I hope the move happens. Be cool to see him in the Prem, the Geordie.
Tottenham Hotspur now, and all I can say, if you're a Newcastle fan, switch off now. Alan St. Maximan. Now, this is a very, very special player. If he leaves Newcastle, you're relegated, full stop. So I'm sorry about that. But I think he's good enough, exciting enough to play for Tottenham Hotspur.
Where did that even come from? I'm going for players that, might actually sign for these clubs. St. Maximan. I've gone for Christian Romero, the Argentinian centre-back for Atalanta, who, if this video, when it comes out, the deal might already be done. But the reason I'm saying it is because it's incredible business by Tottenham Hotspur. I think they could be back. This signing is so good that it may think Kane, he might just want to stay. There's a serious project going on. Their footballing director they've brought in, and the way they're taking this season makes me think they might be able to hold on to their big number 9. Christian Romero was one of the best centre-backs in the Serie A last season. It's exactly what they need to strengthen in to basically say bye-bye to Eric Dyer. It makes sense. It's good business.
But Theo, if you're losing Harry Kane, if Gareth Bale's not coming back, you want to strengthen at the back?
Yeah, 100%. Spurs need a centre-back.
They need more than one player, but I'm saying if you bring in one player, you bring in an exciting attacking midfielder like St. Maximan.
There's probably more to come, but I think a centre-back is the most important position for Spurs right now. And if Joachim Andersen isn't going to happen, then this makes more sense. He's probably better than them anyway.
Watford now, and I'm giving you Joe Willock, who you spoke about early, Theo. Now, he was at Newcastle for 4 months last season. He was excellent. Watford is just up the road, so go and join Ben Foster.
Fair play. Well, I've gone for someone different. It's funny how we're having these crossovers for different clubs of players that are clearly available, you know what I mean? Morten Torsby, the Sampdoria midfielder, Norwegian international. Watford need a midfielder, and it's a very good position that they can strengthen in. He seems a really good player, played regularly for Sampdoria last year, 33 games, 3 goals, few assists here and there. It's a player that will improve their side.
West Ham United, I think they need some creativity in midfield. I'm assuming Jesse Lingard's not happening.
Yeah.
Mateus Pereira there.
Yeah, a lot of West Ham fans want to see him in. Obviously, I've already associated that move with another club, and a lot of people are also saying Lingard. So I'm going to go something different. Their goalkeeper's 36. I know Fabianski has probably got a year or 2 in him. Let's go younger. Fulham. They are obviously relegated. Areola, probably based in London, available, and he's so good last year.
Yes.
So bring him to West Ham. Alphonse Areola. It's a deal that makes sense. And considering Lingard probably out the picture, I think that's the move they go for.
It's a deal, it's a steal, it's sale of the century. Wolverhampton Wanderers, it's got to be Palhinha, hasn't it, Theo?
Completely agree on the last one. And he's a player that we watched in the Euros. He got into that Portuguese side. Yes, I know. So much squad depth. But it shows he's a solid player. Played at Sporting in their midfield last year. I think he's someone who's ready for the Premier League.
Absolutely. He's a deep-lying midfielder, but he can also press. So quite versatile. Moutinho is aging a bit. I want to see that lad playing alongside Neves. That will strengthen Wolves.
To be fair, Dad, I've had a lot of Sporting fans write to me and say directly he is a baller. And wherever he goes, we're going to watch out for him. So I'd like to see him in the Prem to give my own verdict. And on that note, we've ended our video giving every club one player they should sign this summer. It's been a fun one.
It has been brilliant. It's great to be back in the saddle.
And listen, I don't know how many likes Thogdad asked for, 8k, 10k, whatever. Let's smash it. Subscribe for a load more content coming into the preseason on this channel, really. There's so much more to come. Big up Thogdad. We're back. Stay subscribed with notifications on. See you in a bit. Bye, guys.